When a friend of mine asked me of this new cyber game everyone's talking about, I said, Jesus, not that bad. They got two things right, first being Keanu, second being Photomod. The question is, how does the Photomod improve a game? And what other tools are there for players? But just like any other educational video essay, gotta break down the terminology first. Photomod. Photography is the art, application, and It's art, okay? It's art. A form of art which is expressed through various components like lighting, composition, story, and so on. And the mod part just sounds cool. More developers over the years start to include this into their games. As far as every major Sony title now has a Photomod. Kojima included it 6 months later after the Death Stranding release. Red Dead Redemption 2 gets Photomod a full year after the game's release. If that doesn't speak volumes for this feature, I don't know what does. In case you don't know, Photomod is a built-in editor for capturing footage. It can be a simple range of functions, such as camera position, image depth, and interface turn-off. Or it could be a complex editor that allows you to tweak camera lens, tilt and rotation, add filters and frames, turn on artificial light, drop in a few extra props, facial expressions, and much, much more. Make it double for backseat gamers as they take immediate interest in the game, throwing in ideas and creating scenes that you yourself could walk past through, cause you're too concentrated on playing the game, you playa. All the more, it's your library of memorable moments that you could always come back to. It was a number of times I got hit by nostalgia trips, looking at old Gravity Rush pics and reminiscing about the times with old Morgan. Funny I remembered those two, cause they actually include camera as an in-game tool that you could use on missions. That's the reason I took double the number of shots compared to other games. So no wonder people demanded this day and age, cause back in Stone Age it used to be you playing by yourself, but now you can turn on your inner Kubrick and show off those pretty pictures on the net, promoting the game and your self-esteem. But it's not the only way you can express yourself. Welcome, the theater. Back in 2007 came a little game known as Halo 3. It was a game that truly popularized clip making and boosted user-generated content to an entirely new level. It was because of that tens of thousands of small FPS channels were born, filling the niche for sick kill compilations and tips and tricks videos, still popular to this day. Reposition camera for a better angle to emphasize a point, or lead viewers' attention using directing techniques, all that with full control over time-lapse. Always on, always at the back of a hand, an ability to relieve those dramatic or funny moments. Damn shame that Halo's 5 theater is still a mess, because back in the day people could get together in a lobby as a small group and watch each other's footage, while cracking jokes or actually analyzing mistakes and finding ways to improve. Oh, remember how I said it was a game that truly popularized clip making and boosted user-generated content to an entirely new level. The theater brought a new perspective on spectating. While watching footage and listening to commentary was good enough back then, now you could go a step further. And since Halo was an esport back then, it was only a matter of time before every other competitive game would pick up on new features. Spectating is a must-have feature in any esports these days. MOBAs, such as League of Legends and Dota 2, have their own systems. On top of the usual camera control and player tracking, Dota TV has stacks upon stacks of player data, like stat charts, item charts, experience graphs, gold graphs, all tracked in real time. I mean, people make their careers commenting on tournament events. Spectating is a versatile and useful feature, but few developers go as far using it as Valve does. Did you know about the secret police that Valve has? Overwatch is a community of active players taking the role of investigators. Their job is to estimate the suspect of cheating or other crimes by play alone. Nicknames are changed, all chat is muted.
Oh wait, B-Hop script? And then wall hack aimbot. Because you knew where that last guy was. Obviously wall hacking, they're all hiding.
There are 4 distinct charges to be evaluated that cover the major forms of disruption. Each charge has 2 possible verdicts: insufficient evidence and evidence beyond a reasonable doubt. Some investigators have more trust points, therefore their decisions have more weight than others. Valve has made their own little community with the name, the progression ranks, and it's their holy duty to cleanse the service of the cheating vermin.
Vermin writhe deep within all filth and are the root of man's impurity. All vermin are to be crushed.
That was interesting, but let us get back on track. Allow me to introduce you the Rockstar Editor, aka Video Editor, aka Instant Replay. GTA 3, Vice City and San Andreas all had a half-baked replay function. The idea was to reconstruct last 60 seconds of gameplay by memorizing available data, such as player input, vehicles and NPC coordinates, the weather, daytime, weapons used, and due to insufficient data, it often led to false recreations of set weather and daytime, buggy character animations, damaged cars suddenly repaired, fire breaks out before the car even falls there. Although you can't change camera view, you can still look around, while crude execution replay gets the job done.
Daddy's back, you bitches! Daddy's back, you bitches!
Dave, come on.
Nero!
Come on.
Nico, what are you doing?
Dave is not coming.
Ah, ignore him. Come on, we gotta get this thing ready before we dock. Let's go. Here, pass me that. Oh yeah! There she is. Liberty City.
GTA 4 Video Editor was an enormous leap in the right direction. Minor errors did occur, but nothing on the scale of previous titles. Unfortunately, I couldn't retrieve my old footage, but on the other hand, Games for Windows Live is dead. GTA 4 was my first experience in video editing. It was simple, but at the same time filled to the brim. You can make camera transitions, choose appropriate tune from a variety of tracks, add text, change font, you can make transitions and toggle audio. For crying out loud, this whole video is made in GTA 4 Editor. In Rose Franklin 5, Rockstar yet again achieved a new height. Rockstar Editor is not without its problems. Car wheels sometimes jerk, and rendering speed may be an issue, particle effects here and there, but on the other hand, there are in-game tutorials for beginners, there are more songs. Also, you can adjust brightness, saturation, contrast, and the camera control here. On top of that, Director Mod lets you change model of your characters, spawn air and water vehicles, freeze daytime, change weather, and more fonts. This is by far the best in-game Machinima 2 live scene, and Rockstars are constantly in touch with their community, making shoutouts about players' work, professional or amateur alike.
When they see me off in traffic, they say Jeezy on some mother. Send them, running straight back to the dealership. Me, I'm in my spaceship. That's right, I want Vanessa. This FNH is not a fraud. Call it my bodyguard. Call it the bodyguard. Yeah, that's my bodyguard. Wore a lot of jewelry. Young don't do security. Whiter than a napkin, harder than a dinner plate. If you want it, come and get it. You know I stay super straight. Ran up in my spots and now I'm working out the super 8. Know you hungry. Come and get a super plate. Now sing happy birthday. Yeah, I got this super cake. 100 carat bracelet. I use it like some super bait. On for my city. On for my city. I put on for my city. On for my city. Put on east side. Put on south side. Put on west side. Put on for my city. On for my city. I put on for my city. On for my city. Put on east side. Put on south side. Put on west side. Put on. Let's go.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
It's time to pull on your beanies, squeeze into those DTs, slip those fancies on, and give me a dark side grind. Okay, maybe don't. Skate 3 is a masterpiece and by far the best game EA has ever made. Skate stands out from the crowd for few reasons. First, it's much less arcadey than say a Tony Hawk series. Skate 3 is physical. Left stick is your body, while right stick is your board. Such installation allows for extremely fluent control. You can feel the weight of the character, the speed of the board, and the pain on the impact. Top it off with a D-pad gesture and triggers arms control. And you have yourself a movement system that is easy to learn and just a little more tricky to master. And the second thing is the developer's approach to their creation.
Skateboarding is an inherently creative activity, and all we want to do is we really want to empower people. We want to give them what they need to go nuts and have a great time creating.
Players being able to create their own videos, photos, and graphics, and now with a big new feature, Skate Park, so players can create and share their own user-created parks.
Take any custom graphic you make on the website and actually bring it into your park. Then there's props, which can be used for both aesthetic purposes and gameplay purposes. At any point, I can choose to upload that park to the community.
Graphics creators coming back from Skate 2, player can scale it and rotate it. Your teammates can also take any graphic that you've shared and send it to their game.
Yeah.
To create Skate Reel content, this year is that we've opened up the advanced camera functionality for all players and use all those settings to make it just perfect.
Instant replays, parks, logos, character looks, teams, billboards with your own shots. Connection and creativity are the things that make Skate 3. It's the developer's intent to keep the game going by helping players make it their own.
We're just proud that we can put some tools in people's hands and then watch what they create. We figured you'd do something, but not what we're seeing.
EA being EA, at first the Advanced Filmer Pack was a paid DLC, but now it's completely free. Backend servers are back online, meaning parks, clips, photos, teams are back. And since backwards compatibility is a thing, I can see more people get together and have great time again. Especially now that the new installment has been announced. The game's popularity should grow larger by the day.
Thank you. So the moment is here. We finally get to say,
We're back! We're doing it! Skate's happening, we're rolling. We've secretly got together. It's the beginning. The skate evolution continues.
We've been waiting years, honestly, to make the right game at the right time with the right idea, and really, really pleased to say that we're here.
Some games develop and improve their tools. Others include Photomod years after the game's release. The importance of user-generated content cannot be overlooked, especially in games that don't rely on multiplayer, or, at the very least, on support of modding tools. But in the end of the day, it's not about developers entertaining you. It's you, the player, making your own thing. This is the beauty of Photomod. I finally leveled up my courage and left links to my social places, so you can like my sweet screens and send your own screenshots. Toll the bell, like and comment. I'll try to overcome my anxiety and communicate with you. Thank you for watching. Well, I got 2 things right. First being Keanu, second being Photomod, so 2 out of 10.